You're listening to Do This First, a daily personal development podcast that focuses on science-backed, actionable steps towards your best year ever. Hi, I'm Sandy, your host. It is 59 days away till the end of 2024, so less than 2 months. Oh my gosh. The past couple of podcast episodes have generated a barrage of questions from you all. So tomorrow's podcast episode will be a Q&A in an effort to respond to all of your questions. And speaking of questions, there are questions that you should be asking yourself when you're in the audience cultivation phase. And that's what we've been talking about for these past podcast episodes. So I have about 10 questions that I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to give you some answers to them. But you should absolutely be asking these questions if you're trying to identify and cultivate your audience so that you can move your business and your brand forward. So the first question that you should ask is, who are our current customers and what do we know about them? You can collect this information through Google Analytics, the visits to your website, your email marketing list, which you should have one. As a matter of fact, with my brand, it's almost solely through my email marketing list. And also through your past purchases data and so on and so forth. So you can collect all that information and you should have a pretty good idea of who your current customers are. And you should know quite a bit about them based on how they purchase from you, what they buy, when they buy, and what they do when they're on your website. Another question you should ask yourself, what demographic characteristics should define my target audience? And that's really the same as above, but you can also conduct surveys when someone purchases from you to gain more clarity. A third question that you can ask is, what psychographic traits, such as, values, interests, lifestyles, do we believe our audience possesses? Social media is good for access to psychographic information by seeing what a person likes, posts, comments on, and who they interact with. You can gain insights to personal preferences like their lifestyle, their interests, their values. Fourth question you can ask, and you should be asking, is how do our products or services align with the needs and preferences of our potential audience? You'll know the answer to this question by analyzing the data you have on your customers, including their pain points. Your products and services always has to solve a problem for your customers. For example, in the short term, maybe you're seeing your audience is stressed out because of the elections coming up here in the U.S., as I know that we have some listeners that are from outside of the U.S. A quick solution can be providing humorous, non-political content, merch, or products. Help them escape for a little while. Long-term problem. Your audience is complaining about zippers on hoodies. They always break, get stuck, or get frayed. Solution. Provide options like button-down hoodies, a Velcro hoodie, a lace-up hoodie, a pull-on hoodie. See what I mean? Provide a solution. Fifth question you should be asking yourself is, how do your competitors identify and engage their audiences? And that's easy. Sign up for their newsletters, their marketing list, and anything else your competition has out there. Sign up for it all. Follow them across all their mediated platforms and set up Google alerts on them. It'll become very clear how they are engaging with their audiences. The sixth question you should ask yourself is, how can we gather direct feedback from consumers to better understand their motivations and preferences? Surveys, polls, and review sites are some of the best ways to answer this question. And again, a seventh question you should be asking yourself, what online or offline communities do our potential customers engage with? Social listening should help you uncover this information. Swarm, which used to be Foursquare, is an app where people check in where they are at, and it might help you see if there are patterns offline. For example, If you notice a significant group of people that talk about your niche or similar products as yours are going to Starbucks on Wednesday every week, there might be a reason for that. Number 8. What are the common objections or misconceptions potential customers have about my brand, my company, my products and services? Active observing, monitoring, comments, reviews, and surveys can help you understand and expertly address the concerns that surface. Number 9, are there seasonal or temporal factors that affect our audience's purchasing habits? Depending on what it is that you're offering, the holiday season can be great or horrible. Analyze the buying behaviors in your brand as well as the competition as holidays come across, as the seasons change. There might be some indicators there that you can capitalize on or that you need to stay away from. And then the last question, number 10, is how does our branding resonate with our perceived audience and what changes might be needed? Again, this is gleaned through social listening, purchasing data, and reading reviews and comments. These questions can guide you in refining your approach to audience identification and engagement. So what's next? Brand positioning. Brand positioning is a critical aspect of any marketing strategy. Determining how a company's brand is perceived in the minds of consumers relative to your competitors. To effectively position your brand in the market, you have to understand your target audience, which you should understand by now who they are. You also have to understand your competition, which if you followed all the steps that I shared with you, you do know who your competition is. And the unique value proposition. That's what we're going to focus on today. The unique value proposition is what sets you apart from your competition. What makes you different? What is your secret sauce? It's about standing out and differentiating yourself from the rest and being memorable in a space crowded with your competitors. Your brand positioning helps customers understand why you're the best choice in a sea of options. It's the difference between being the life of the party or just blending into the background like a wallflower. Brand positioning is a broad topic, and so we will talk about it in greater detail across the next episodes. The areas I want to touch on lightly today is defining your unique value proposition. A unique value proposition is a statement that clearly communicates the benefits that a product or service provides to its customers and why it is better than the competition. In order to create a strong and compelling unique value proposition, you must consider several key factors. Since you already know what your current and potential customers are looking for in a product or service, you can now tailor the unique value proposition to address the specific needs and desires of your target audience. If you don't know that yet, then you need to go back to the steps that I mentioned in my previous podcast episodes, because you absolutely have to know what it is that they want. What are their pressure points? It's also important, though, to understand your strengths and capabilities as a brand. A unique value proposition should highlight the unique advantages your brand has over its competitors. These advantages could be related to the quality of the product or service. It could be what you're able to provide, like personalization. It could be even your pricing strategy, the customer service experience, or any other aspect of the business that sets it apart from the competition. Think about that for a minute, because that's really important. Ask yourself, what can I provide that my target audience needs, that my competitors fall short in? What can I provide that my audience wants? You have to be able to answer those questions before you can craft a value proposition. Don't barrel through this step. as it will form the basis of your marketing strategy. Another important element of defining a unique value proposition is identifying the key benefits that your product or services that your brand provides to consumers. These benefits should be clearly articulated in the unique value proposition and should be easy for customers to understand and relate to. And I said consumers, but I know that some of you market business to business, so you can exchange that word for clients and business clients. By communicating the value that the product or service provides, brands can effectively showcase why customers should choose their brand over that of competitors. Analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of competitors can also help you better position your brand in the market and help you identify opportunities to differentiate yourself. This could involve offering a unique feature or service that competitors don't provide, or it could involve emphasizing a particular benefit that is more important to customers than that of competitors. Defining a unique value proposition is a critical component of brand positioning. By understanding the needs of the target market and leveraging the strengths of your brand, and also communicating those benefits that the product or service provides, you can create a strong and compelling unique value proposition that sets you apart from competitors. You have to regularly review and update the unique value proposition though, because things change. And it's one way to ensure that your brand can continue to stay ahead of the competition and attract and retain customers in a competitive market. If you like what you're hearing, don't forget to leave a review. You can also read a full transcript of this podcast episode and all of my podcast episodes on my blog, DoThisFirst.life. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for my weekly newsletter, where I'm touching on so many different topics now. Before I was touching on neurosciences and all the emerging research there, as well as the research and cutting edge technology that is touching on personal and professional development and brain health. But I'm also including some other strategies, some marketing strategies and things to continuously help you with your brand and your business. And while you're there, you can also listen to all of my podcast episodes. And you can listen to my podcast episodes on YouTube. And my handle there is @DoThisFirst. And I was looking to see what my follower count was there, my subscriber count. And I'm at like 9,530 followers. So I'm not at 10,000 yet. But maybe you guys will help me get there before the new year. Thank you in advance. Tomorrow we'll continue with our Finish Strong micro series. And tomorrow I've gotten, like I said, a barrage of questions based on the last couple of podcast episodes. So I'm going to take those questions and I'm going to answer them in tomorrow's podcast episode. And then I'm also going to continue with brand positioning. Till tomorrow.